Hello guys and welcome to today's video, and I'm going to be doing a quick little update on Invest 93S that could threaten Madagascar in the next 5 or 6 days. With that being said, when we take a look at the GFS and European, we are going to take a look at the 6-day time frame. This is just to be precautionary, so to speak, that we're going to be looking at day 6 because I want to be better safe than sorry if this thing does actually come to Madagascar like some of the models are projecting. Anyways, here we are. This is located at 5.0 south, 57.9 east. Max sustained winds are at 15 knots or 20 miles per hour. Minimal sensor pressure is at 1,010 millibars. And as you can see from here, it's a hot mess right now. It's just pretty much a trough, so to speak. It's not even a sharp trough at that. It's just a disorganized mess of showers and thunderstorms here. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the GEFS tracks and minimal MSLP. And as you can see, some of these members get to be very strong here in the next 4 to 5 days. As we got some members going down to 950 to 940, and we got some members going into Madagascar too, which could be pretty dicey here. We're looking at some that are 960 to 950 going into northern Madagascar and our north central Madagascar. So this is why I want to, throw the point home that, right now it's trending towards Madagascar. Obviously that can change, but right now we are looking at northern Madagascar at this current point in time. So, I'm just telling you guys what the models are showing right now, so take it as you may. So here's the GEPS tracks and minimal MSLP, and as you guys typically know, the GEPS is not especially as bullish as GEFS here, but they do take some of these numbers down to 990 to 980, but takes them into northern Madagascar as a 1,999 or 990 millibar system here. So, at least the GEPS is saying, look, this is probably just going to be a tropical storm. But, sometimes we got to look in the middle, right? And to look in the middle, we're going to have to take a look at the operational models too. So here we are with the 18Z GFS here. And you can see this 1,004 millibar system. This is our Invest 93S here. And you can see that it's kind of in a so-so environment here. We're looking at 63% relative humidity and 14 knots of shear. So the shear is kind of all right, but the relative humidity is not really good. So now we're going to go to 24 hours, and as you can see, it hasn't really done much of anything in those 24 hours. 1,008 millibars. But we're at 13 knots of shear and 78% relative humidity. So the relative humidity has started to grow a little bit here, and the very slightest decrease of shear. So now we're going to go 48 hours. Still hasn't really, took any advantage of the warm waters there. We're looking at 9 knots of shear and 88% relative humidity, which this is really good for a tropical cyclone to develop. So now we're going to go 72 hours and see what happens. And there we go. It starts to actually do something now. 1,003 millibars. We're looking at 12 knots of shear and 82% relative humidity, which is still pretty good. And then we go 96 hours, 986. So now it's really starting to get going here. We are looking at 14 knots of shear and 84% relative humidity. And now here is hour 120, and as you can see, now it really deepened. And it looks like we cannot, let me do a little bit. Let's do that. It might work. We're looking at 3 knots of shear and 86% relative humidity. So the shear is pretty much non-existent in this part of the basin here. And this is a strong Category 3 or low-end Cat 4. So now I said I would go forward a little bit more in time. And as you can see, 6 days out, it makes landfall in northern Madagascar. Like I said, typically I do not go 6 days out, but like I said, better to be safe than sorry in this situation. Gives you guys a little bit more time to prepare if it does come your way. You know what I mean? Now, obviously I'm not a fear monger or anything like that, but you know, we just look at this to try to get prepared as quickly as possible. All right. So with that being said, we have a peak here at 946 millibars. So what does the European show you? Show us, as a matter of fact. As you can see, it's kind of just there's no point taking readings here because the European just doesn't do anything with it. And even if I go past, all the way to the end, it really just doesn't do anything with it. If I can be completely honest with you, so you know, European is always the people used to call this King Euro, but when it comes to developing tropical cyclones, it doesn't cut the mustard, so to speak. So you guys can see that the European doesn't really show anything, but the GFS does. And you know what? Let's go take a look at another model here, just because of why not. If you guys are like interested in another model, we will do that. So now we're going to take a look at the icon here, and as you can see, icon does develop it a little bit, about 999 millibars going right into northern Madagascar here in the 5-day time frame. So this is decent to look at right now. So let's see if what the landfall accumulations are. So as you can see, since it just made landfall, we're not going to see totally how far inland these rainfall totals go, but you can see some of these oranges that are popping in here and these purples. We're looking anywhere from 150 millimeters to maybe 250 millimeters of rain in some of these coastal areas just in this 5-day time frame. All right, so with that being said, obviously, I'm not here to sound any alarms or anything. That's not what I do. You know, at this current point in time, keep watching the situation, and obviously, I'll be keeping you guys updated as time goes by. Just in case anything changes, whether it actually persistently trends towards Madagascar landfall, or it goes out to sea, or even goes west into the mainland Africa. So all of these options are on the table here when it comes to Invest 93S. So now we're going to take a look at the sea surface temperatures here and where it's currently saturated. It's you got 31s to 30 degrees Celsius water. So those are bathtub waters that this system has to work with here. So obviously right now it doesn't have much. It does have some relative humidity, but most of it is in the mid range. So until that raises up, it's not really going to take much advantage of these waters. Shear's on the light side as well. So we're just going to have to see how this all plays out as we have through time. But like I said, 30 to 31 degrees Celsius, and even after that, it has 29, 28 degrees Celsius water. So it still has plenty of warm water to work with, as we have at the time. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. I will have another update video on this tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great day.